What's up, YouTube family? It's your girl Malika, aka Mali, aka Malibu, whatever it is that you want to call me. You don't know that is. Guys, I cannot do a British accent to save my life. I can't do a British accent to save my life. No matter how hard I try, I can't do it. I can't do it. Anyway, in today's video, I will be telling you all about 15 J1 agencies that can help you to land a teaching role in the United States. You guys have watched me pouring out on the H1B school districts, but I'm not forgetting those of you who perhaps want to go to the US on a J1 visa, and that is what we are doing today. In today's video, you can expect me to talk about the requirements to go on these programs. You can expect me to talk about some of the costs that are involved, how much money you need to save or need to have with you in order to go on these programs. And you can also expect me to talk about where these programs will be placing you in the US, which states. So if this is something that is interesting or something that interests you rather, please stay tuned. All right, so you're hearing me say that these are J1 programs, all right, J1 agencies, J1 sponsors. Now, if you do not know what this means, remember I've been talking about the H1. Now, if you don't have a clue what the difference is between the J1 visa and the H1B visa, I have done a video on this, and I'll put the link in my description box below so that you guys can go and watch that video, and that will give you a better understanding as to whether or not you want to go to the US on a J1 visa or on an H1B visa. Some people do not have a preference, and we just want to keep you informed nonetheless. Now, one of the main things that you need to understand is that with a J1 visa, you will be in the United States initially for 3 years. Some of the programs will give you an opportunity to extend for an additional 2 years, making it 5 years in all. Whether it is that you do 3 years or 5 years, you are expected to go back to your country, your home country, for 2 years before you can return to the US to work. Of course, there's always a way around this, and this is something that you can explore more if that's something that you think you would want to do. All right. Now, with these J1 teaching companies or teaching agencies, there are some requirements that you must fulfill in order to be accepted on the program. One of the requirements is that you must have a bachelor's degree in education, or if you have a diploma and a bachelor's degree, your diploma must be in education. So let's say that you were in that time when it was mostly diplomas that were, going on, and you did your diploma in education. Maybe afterwards you did a bachelor's in something not in education. You should be okay, right? So your initial certification needs to be in education. If you did a 4-year bachelor's degree, you need to have it in education. That is the requirement. So there are some individuals who have done a bachelor's degree, a 4-year bachelor's degree, and then afterwards they went and did some teaching courses. I'll say apply nonetheless. Some of the programs, they'll tell you that maybe yes, some will tell you maybe no. But nothing tried, nothing gained. That has always been my mantra. So go ahead and apply. I always say this: filling out an application form, it's time consuming, but it is also free. So there's nothing wrong with just going ahead and applying and seeing what can happen for you. So that's the first requirement, having that initial certificate in education. Now, after you have figured that, okay, yes, you have your initial certificate in education, you do want to ensure that it is equivalent to a US degree. So these programs will not be taking you on unless you have your degree evaluated. Now, you don't need to have your degree evaluated before applying to these programs. They will guide you, after reaching out to you. They will tell you what agency or company they want you to use to evaluate your degree based on the state. There are different agencies that are approved in different states. So whatever agency that you apply to, teaching agency that you apply to, they will let you know, use this company or that company to evaluate your degree. And once you've had your degree evaluated and the report, comes back to say that your degree is equivalent to a United States degree or a degree in the United States, then you are good to go. That is not to say that if you have an evaluation already, you can't go ahead and use that. But most times these programs will tell you exactly which company they want you to use. All right. The second requirement is that you must have at least 2 years of teaching experience after obtaining your degree. So I know that there are some individuals who have been teaching since forever. You have 10 years of teaching experience, 20 years of teaching experience, but you perhaps just got your degree in 2024. This would mean that you would have to wait until 2026 before you would be eligible to go on one of these programs, because you need 2 years of experience since obtaining your degree. So unfortunately, desafortunadamente, malheureusement, you have to wait till those 2 years. I am so sorry, but those are the requirements. Another thing is that you must be currently teaching, whether in your home country or in someone else's country, but you must be currently teaching. And if you're not currently teaching, you must have taught for at least 2 years in the past or in the last 8 years. Got it? Good. A final requirement is that you must be proficient in English. I know that many of you, my viewers, you are watching from different parts of the world. Some of you, English is not your first language, and that is okay. You can go ahead and apply. You can be successful. However, they're looking for English proficiency. The United States, as you all would know, is an English-speaking country. And so, of course, you will be delivering your lessons in English. Employers want to know that when you are delivering your lessons, the students can understand what you are saying, because if they're not understanding, that means they're not learning, and that goal of education happening would not be achieved. So, if you know that your English is not the best, I implore you, get some lessons. There are many online platforms that you can, sign into or sign up for and get English practice, please. However, you do not need to do an English proficiency test. I know some of you have asked me that in the past. No, you don't need to do an English proficiency test. However, just from speaking with the employers and also the agencies, they will realize that your English is not that great, and this may be a deciding factor as to whether or not they will be taking you on to the United States to teach in the United States. All right, now that we have the requirements out of the way, let's talk about just general costs. So I would say that to engage in this or these programs, I would say have $5,000 to $6,000 US available. And that is not to say that you will be handing over $5,000 to $6,000 US to these agencies, but it's a matter of everything adding up, right? So between paying your service fee for the embassy, your visa application fee, to go to the embassy as well, housing fee, that's like the most expensive part of it. When you are accepted and you're making arrangements to go to the United States, and you're trying to see where you'll be living, most of these programs will not be paying for your housing. That is on you. And so you have to have it ready, the money ready to pay for your apartment or your house, whatever it is that you'll be renting, and to have also a deposit ready to submit. So let's say that your rent is going to be $1,500 US. Just let's say. Sometimes the deposit could be $300, sometimes $500, sometimes some places ask for the full amount as a deposit, matching the rent. So your rent is $1,500 and they also ask for $1,500 as a deposit, especially if you don't have social security as yet, or you don't have any credit history, any rental history. Some places will ask you for the full amount as your deposit, and this is why I say have about $5,000 to $6,000 prepared, because there are many costs involved. Once again, it's not that you are paying this directly to the agencies, but the different costs will add up between your plane fare, everything will add up. You needed money for that first month before you get paid by the district. Just keep that in the back of your minds, that you will need some money. Of course, you're not paying all of this all at once. You pay a little here, you pay a little there for this, but it all happens so quickly, and if you don't have the money, it can be quite frustrating. Now, I am one who has always said, if you don't have the money, hey, take a loan. Take a loan from the bank. I believe that it's something that can be paid off, depending on your spending habits and your lifestyle and everything, of course. But that's just my little advice right there. Okay. And in addition to the cost too, I forgot to talk about moving around when you get to the US, whether you'll be taking an Uber for the first few weeks, or maybe it is that you want to purchase a vehicle. In that case, you would need more than $5,000 to $6,000. But once again, it all adds up. Now, let me get into the agencies and where they place teachers. So most of the agencies, I must say, are free, meaning you're not paying an application fee to these agencies. You're not paying them to place you in a school district. They are free. There are some, however, that do require some payment. All right. So I think there are like 2 or 3 that I'll be talking about where they do require payment, just for you to have an idea if you do decide to go that route. But just know that the majority of these agencies are free. The only payment that you need to make would be, once again, to the embassy, and in that case, you're not paying the agency, you're paying the embassy, your airfare, all of those things. All right. So the first one, and if you guys see me looking down as usual, you know that I have my notes in front of me, and I just want to ensure that I give you all the information. So the first one is EPI, and they place teachers in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. If you are with EPI, or you know someone with EPI and they're in another state other than what I've discussed here or called here, please let me know in the comment section. I always say that this is a community where we learn from each other. So maybe I didn't find it in my research, but you know of it. Let me know in my comment section down below. All right. Thank you, Flexers. The next one is FACES. FACES place teachers in South Carolina. So if that's somewhere that you want to go, you can think of EPI or FACES if South Carolina is somewhere on your bucket list or somewhere where you really want to go to. Next up, we have Participate Learning, and they place teachers in Virginia, North Carolina, and also South Carolina. Next up is Global Teaching Partners. They also place teachers in Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. Let me pause and say once more, if you know of these agencies placing teachers in other states other than what I'm listing here, please feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Next up is ITES. I don't know if I should say ITES, but it's the International Teacher Exchange Services, and they place teachers in various states across America. Then there is AIG, one also placing teachers in various states across America. There is PACT Educators, and that's Partners for the Advancement of Community Educators, placing teachers in South Carolina. We also have TPG, Cultural Exchange. And of course, guys, all of these that I'm listing, you should be seeing them on the screen as well. All the names on the screen. So yes, TPG, Cultural Exchange. They place teachers across America, but mostly in North Carolina and Florida. There is Spirit Cultural Exchange. Now, this is one of those agencies where you have to pay. And let me they place teachers in various states: Arizona, Georgia, California, Illinois, various states. I want to tell you about the costs that are involved for this Spirit Cultural Exchange. And let me also say before I forget, sometimes you guys, you're doing your own little thing and you apply to a school district on your own, and the school district tells you that, we want to hire you, however, we do not sponsor, but if you find a sponsor, we'll take you. Spirit is one of those agencies where you can find your own school, and you can get in contact with them, and they will help you to get the J1 visa, and you get your placement in that school that you found for yourself. And I believe that when you find a school for yourself, that school placement fee is waived for you because you would have already done that part of the work, so you would end up paying less fees than someone else who just went directly through Spirit. Now, based on what I'm seeing here for the fees, they have something called a first year program fee, which is $1,990. That's US dollars. And there's also an administrative fee, which is $840. Now, after being with them, you have an annual renewal fee. You have to keep renewing with them, and that is $1,490 plus the $840 administrative fee. So on a yearly basis, you need to have over $2,000 to renew. Then there is the premium placement fee, where they find a host school for you, and that is $1,500. So you guys know, if you're not new to my channel, you guys know math is not my strongest area, but just a general view of what they're putting out here, you need at least $5,000, I would say, to apply to Spirit. Maybe I'm not doing, I feel like I'm doing the calculation correctly, but yeah, about $5,000 in all, based on the fees that they have outlined here. And I haven't done any calculations, just looking and doing a mental calculation. About $5,000 US dollars. Okay, all right, so let's move on from Spirit and let's talk about IER, that is International Expert Resources, and they place teachers across the states. Okay, next up, we have the Cordell Foundation for International Education, and this agency places teachers mostly in the northern states: Connecticut, Kentucky, New York, San Francisco. Well, I guess various parts within the states. But I know some of you have, you've been asking about like Connecticut and New York. So this is an agency that you can apply to and to try to be placed there, okay, in those places that you're interested in those northern parts. Next up, we have GEC, which is Global Educator Program, and they mostly place teachers in North Carolina. Next up, we have Green Heart. This is another one where you'll have to pay, and based on what I'm seeing on their website as well, you can, just like Spirit, if you find a school for yourself, you can also contact Green Heart to assist you with getting the J1 visa so that you can be, legally working in the United States. So the fees that I'm seeing here, in your first year, you will have to pay between $2,275 to $3,760. It's not saying here what's the difference between those, like why there's a range, but just bear it in mind that you'll have to be paying between $2,000 to $4,000 basically dollars. And then they also have an annual renewal fee, which is $1,900, and you have to pay for your dependents $450. Okay, so it's money, 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 money. Yeah. All right, next up is HRC International Inc. And this is another one where you'll have to pay. With HRC, the fees include the fee for the visa, which is $1,280. And this is different from your appointment at the embassy fee, which would be $185, and your service fee $220. You take care of housing, utilities, and all of that. Yeah, I don't see here where there's a renewal fee, but I'm going to assume that maybe there is a renewal fee. And finally, there is Geo Vision, GEO Vision, which places teachers across the United States. Let me know in the comment section which of these agencies you might be interested in. Let me know if there are other agencies that you know of that you want to share with the flexing community, the Malika's Flex community. Share with us in the comment section. Remember, you are a flexer once you have subscribed to Malika's Flex. You are a big flexer once you're able to provide us with some information. You comment down below, you actively participate within this community, and you are a super duper flexer. When you reach out to me one-on-one and you're like, Malika, I know of this H1B district, I know of this J1 program, I know of this, that, I know of this, so that I can share that information with others as well. So big up yourself if you are a flexer, big up yourself if you are a big flexer, and especially big up yourself if you are a super flexer. Now guys, we have come to the end of this video. Once again, I love when you comment something down below. It shows me that you were able to watch this video all the way to the end. So hashtag the program that you are interested in the comment section. That will let me know that you watched this video all the way to the end. You were able to sit down and listen to my voice for this entire video, as long as it is, right? Now, thank you guys for watching. I don't take it for granted that you will sit and just listen to me or watch me. It's your girl, Malika, aka whatever it is that you want to call me. You don't know that it's me saying,